know, another thing I really appreciated actually, Tyler, is
Huh.
that you could kind of tell that when you got there, you didn't really know what you were getting into. And you kind of throughout just say, fuck it, I'm really going to go for this. But I'm thinking, oh, these guys, his boy's got to be busting his balls for certain things. Some of these guys go really corny. You really didn't waver. You really didn't do that.
Well, that's what like two things. Like, first of all, the thing I'm most proud about is like my boys, like my real inner core boys from like school and all that. They're like, you never changed up. You were just
You
yourself the
did
whole time.
not. You did not.
And like that was like something like that was like I'm not like I'm gonna be me and you're gonna like me for me or you're not, you know. And
Right.
then like a lot of the kids would like they all like really quickly like would buddy up with the producers and all that. And like I just don't do that. Like
So there's even a politics side to this whole
you
thing,
know
don't you see?
exactly. And like people like producers will come up to you like, yo, I think you should do this, and I'll be like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know, I
Good for
just it's
you.
not me. And then I'll see someone else do it. And I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't do that. You know. Like the one thing the producer came up to me and said that I agreed to doing I thought was dope was like we like to go get her flowers, you know. I was like, yeah, I'll do that, you know.
No problem.
But some of this stuff, some of this, some of the stuff, I was just like, nah, I can't be doing that. I'm sorry.
And you know where I kind of get worried for you a little bit while I'm watching this too, and I'm just kind of putting myself in there too. A lot of these scenes get very intimate. You ever worried about popping wood on set? I mean, they got the
Nah,
camera.
it was popping everywhere.
You had no issue if you got a boner. You had no issue with it at all.
Either they were gonna show it or they weren't. You know what I mean? But I had
Good for
nothing to hide.
you. So you
You know.
think that there's scenes where you do pop wood and they just decided, let's give him the benefit of the doubt
They
and
made it.
not?
They made it crop me up a little bit. You know.
And it makes you think maybe if they didn't, maybe you take Jed down in the finals.
Who knows? You know.
And you
But
kind of got the best of both worlds. I mean, with not winning, I mean, the whole Hannah Brown thing kind of turned into a little bit of a disaster. She's kind of all over. It almost like this played through your cards perfectly.
yeah, I mean, I never expected it to be what this was. You know, like
Right.
I thought I was gonna be like I thought, in all honesty, like the show would happen. You know, if it worked out with me and the girl, great. If it didn't work out for me, I was just gonna be like another dude. You know, and like that was it. You know what I mean? But like it's blown up way more than I ever could imagine. Like the way things played out is just crazy, and it's like I don't get super religious, but like it's all like a blessing. You know.
Right.
Like
Well,
I could have never expected it to turn out the way it did and happen the way it did. Like all I did was just be me and and stick up for a girl and respect her wishes. That's it. You know, like and it's simple as that.
and that's why I think it does so well. That's why I think people fall in love with you. Here's this guy. He's sticking to his guns. I mean, I don't think the Kardashians are going to call you to do an episode with you anytime soon because you're going to stick to your guns. You're going to stick to the roots. And you didn't let it get all to that reality TV type vibe.
No, yeah, no, it's there's just like I don't know. Like I got into it with one of the guys like probably the first week of this at the house. And my whole thing with him was like he came like God, everyone wants to call me right now.
I think they know you're coming on the Brilliantly Dumb show.
I know they're probably get off. No, but like I got into it with one of the kids. Probably like the first week I was there, and my whole thing was like because he saw her. He got the first rose there ever was. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he came like and he didn't get invited on a group date, and then he came on, and then like he came and crashed our group date. And my whole thing was respect my time and I'll respect yours.
No doubt about it. I'm with you, TC.
And so like, you know, the producers are trying to get everybody all riled up. Like he's here, like he's taking your time. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And so I'm like, they're like go say something to him. I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And I went out there. I was like, dude, I just don't respect like what you doing. Like she like already like, because all people on our date were people that she's never even spoken to before.
Right.
And she's already like had this time with you. You already have a rose. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you're like why are you stepping on other people's toes right now? Like, why you respect my time? Like, I'll respect yours always. You know?
Yeah.
And so like, but like, I didn't really say too much. You know, it was actually a pretty funny scene because you see me walking up slowly behind him as he's talking or whatever. And producers are like, you know, they have their
Here
little
he
lights.
goes.
They're like typing shit on their computers for me to see, like, fuck them up. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I'm just like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I eventually dipped out. And then like it was like one by one, like a guy coming out to try and talk to him. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, Joe, just chill. You know what I mean? Like, and then like we're like sitting as the group, and all the guys are sitting there, and they're just gossiping and talking about it. And I'm like, guys, if you don't shut up, like, we're never gonna get to talk to her. You're just giving them more stuff to film, you know? I was like, if you stop talking, we'll get to see her.
No doubt about it.
But if you keep talking, they're just gonna keep filming and letting you run, you know?
Well,
So
it's like you
so
kind of quietly just flew under the radar to start, just
exactly
survive in advance, baby.
And then they wouldn't stop gossiping. So I was like, I'm out of here. So I walked into the next room. I was like, I can't sit in there. Like the producer, I was like, I can't sit in there no more. I don't gossip, you know? And so I went and sat in the next room, just chilling by myself. And then the next thing I know, they bring me Hannah. And I'm like, plan worked.
Boy, did that work out, huh?
Exactly. And like that's when me and her hit it off, and like that's like when we actually had our first kiss. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'm in this. You know what I mean? Like this is we're here. And then like after that, like we went back to the house, and the next day we had like a meeting, all the guys, before, like they're filming us before our cocktail party. And Cam was like, it was this kid Cam, and he was like talking about like how, like, you know, he's glad he went out and did that. Like he feels brave and bold, blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
that he came to our thing. And at this point, I really haven't said anything to anybody in the house. Like I've been a quiet kid this whole time.
But are you ready? Are you ready to snap? Is it all building up, or you're just keeping control of the emotions?
No. Like he just came out. I came out here, and like, and so like he started talking about how he feels so bold and brave and all this stuff, you know. And I was just like, it like bugged me, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna swallow it. I'm gonna hold it in, and if it still bothers me in 10 minutes, I'm gonna say something.
Smart play, very smart play.
And in 10 minutes, I was even more fired up.
Not a smart play. Not.
Yeah.
You should have just clocked him there.
In 10 minutes, I was even more fired up. And like, granted, I had barely said a word to anybody in this house. And I basically just go, yo, Cam, this is bullshit. I was like, this isn't brave or bold. Like, honestly, this is cowardice. I was like, a true man does not have to step on other people's toes to bring himself up in front of a woman. You know?
Amen.
And I was like, and I like kind of went on some things about that. And then eventually I was like, and one thing is respect my time and I'll respect yours. And then I said, I'm gonna say it one more fucking time, respect my time and I'll respect yours. And everyone was like, oh shit, this kid speaks, you know?
You kept your mouth shut throughout the whole time.
Yeah. And sorry.
No, you're good. We're with you.
And he speaks, you know. And then I remember when Mike Johnson came up. He came up and just like gave me a big, he's like, you my motherfucking boy, you know what I mean?